House Speaker Nancy Pelosi killed the bill. And she explains why in this next clip.
Do you support Jerry Nadler's bill to expand the Supreme Court by 4 seats? And would you commit to bringing that bill to the floor?
No. I support the president's commission to study such a proposal, but frankly, I don't know that that's a good idea or a bad idea. I think it's an idea that should be considered, and I think the president's taken the right approach to have a commission to study such a thing. It's a big step. It's not out of the question. It has been done before. But in answer to your question, I have no plans to bring it to the floor, no.
Okay. Oh God, I have a lot of thoughts. First, let me tell you what the legislation would have included, okay? So the bill would add 4 seats to the high court, bringing the total to 13 from the current 9. The bill is led by House Judiciary Committee Chair Jerry Nadler, Subcommittee Chair Hank Johnson, and first-term Representative Mondaire Jones. In the Senate, the bill is being championed by Ed Markey of Massachusetts, but it doesn't matter. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will not bring it to the floor for a vote. But believe it or not, I don't really mind Nancy Pelosi refusing to bring it to the floor to the vote, like for a vote. It wasn't gonna pass, guys. Like, can we just stop playing these games? The Senate still has that legislative filibuster. As long as that legislative filibuster exists, like these theater moments in Congress mean nothing. It's a waste of time, it's frustrating. But I will also add this in regard to what Nancy Pelosi said there. Can we just stop with the commissions already? Like it's clownish. It drives me crazy. Like, yeah, I know the popular thing that our base wants, but before we actually do it, we're actually gonna create a commission to study. Just say you're not gonna do it. Say you're not gonna do it. Don't tell us that you're gonna do a commission to study it. It's such a dumb thing to say, and I see right through it. I think most people see right through it. But anyway, the commissions drive me crazy. Cenk, go ahead.
Yeah, 2 things. One is a billion% agree on the commissions. Look, the media should say this means they're not going to do it, but that would require them to take to do 1% analysis. Of course, Biden's not going to do it. He stacked that commission full of Republicans. And he said, well, this is not for even adding seats to the court. Then what is it for? Okay, it's just total theater. It's total nonsense, okay? Now, on the idea of packing the court in the first place, I never liked the idea. It's one of those silly ideas that moderate Democrats, so-called moderate Democrats put out there, again, for just theatrics. They don't even believe it. They don't think it can happen, and they don't even necessarily want it to happen. But and if you're wondering why do they propose it if they know it's not going to happen? Well, that's your answer. Because they don't want to do things that might actually happen, because that would affect their corporate donors. But if something can't happen, then they feel comfortable saying it and earning credit as if they're a progressive. So who was the one who championed this court packing idea during the primaries? Pete Buttigieg. And he seemed so bold and progressive for wanting to do it. This is when he was trying hard to be a progressive, but it helps him with the intellectual elites that run the Democratic Party, and mainly the Democratic donors too, because they're like, ooh, what an intellectual. Did you know he went to Harvard? He went to he was at McKinsey. He's so smart. He has this amazing new idea to pack the courts. And does anybody think it's possible? No, nobody thinks it's possible. So it was always a game. There's real things you could do. Remember when McConnell said, hey, don't you dare kill the filibuster. I can use so many Senate rules to block everything that the Senate will literally come to a standstill and not do anything. Now, I don't know to what degree he's bluffing about those Senate rules, but if those Senate rules exist, why didn't Schumer use them to block Amy Coney Barrett from taking the Supreme Court seat a week before the election? See, that's realistic. You could pressure Democrats to actually fight on the Supreme Court nominations. We could have pressured Obama to put Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court. We could have done things. that were realistic and practical, but that would have required an actual fight. And Obama doesn't want to fight, Biden doesn't want to fight, Schumer and Pelosi don't want to fight, they want to do commissions. So Buttigieg gives them this little plaything and they have fun and they do Play-Doh and Mr. Potato Head and etc. And then afterwards, Pelosi goes, no, we're not voting on it, don't be ridiculous. And the band plays on. And now all the press is like, well, obviously it's a brilliant idea, credit to Buttigieg, and obviously they're not doing it, credit to Pelosi.
Exactly, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, this is what happens in Congress. This is what they do all day. The performative nonsense, it drives me crazy. But this is it, this is what it is. This is what it is. And and then on the corporate end, I know that this isn't related to Congress, but it just reminds me of what you see with the performative nonsense meant to distract you from the fact that they're not actually carrying out what people are demanding. Jamie Dimon today said that JP Morgan Chase will now change its rhetoric to ensure that they no longer refer to Latinos as Latinos. They're going to call people Latinx and whatever other wording is acceptable now in the general public, I guess. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care. Don't care. That doesn't fundamentally change anything. And I'm tired of the performative crap coming from both the corporate world and from Congress. Okay. Bankers referring to you as Latinx as opposed to Latina or Latino doesn't change the fact that they're robbing you. Just doesn't.
Yeah, Anna, I'll tell you, if you did a national poll and asked Latinos, would you prefer to be called Latinx or prefer to have your wages increased? That would be what? 98-2 have wages be increased. Of course, all of the major corporations through the Chamber of Commerce and the Business Roundtable, and certainly all the banks, et cetera, are against increasing the minimum wage and against increasing your wages overall. But don't worry, they'll call you Latinx.
Yeah, just don't fall for it. And more importantly, look, if they do that on top of making actual systemic changes, great. But don't fall for the trick that they've played over and over again. I mean, it reminds me of what happened during the mass protests last summer. All these businesses with Black Lives Matter, posted on the boards that they covered their windows with. It's just a way of getting you off their back. They don't actually want to change their business practices. They don't want to change anything. And you see similar performative nonsense in Congress. And I'm tired of it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.